Alrighty, here we go again. Round 2. So, as you can see, look at this guy. He was so freaking adorable. I was so proud of him. And, oh, well, there's just a little air pocket in there, and that's all that needed to cause him to just go bloop. So, here we go. We're going to do exactly the same thing, this time no air. That is the plan. So, one of the things I'm going to do is actually start with a thicker blue rod. This way, when I'm melting in my colors, I can just choose to keep using this one rod, but I don't have as much of a chance of causing issue. So, here we go. Keeping it towards the back of the flame. Making sure that it doesn't get too hot too fast. I can already start to see that it's starting to turn a little bit red. When it does that, I can kind of be a little bit more gentle with it. Rather, it can take a little bit more heat. It's starting to heat up. We're really just going to concentrate the heat behind the rod, or behind the top of the gather, so that it gathers towards the end of the rod here. Helps with stability and helps keep me centered. We're just gonna keep this going. There we go. I want to get a nice good gather. So I'm just turning up my flame a little bit because now it's got a little bit of heat. And even though the heat is not like, when I have like the very end of the rod in the flame, you gotta be a little bit careful. Right now, like there's still like, there's this big ball and it's radiating heat down the rod. So even if it's not directly in the flame, it's getting warmer. So it overall can take a higher heat. There we go. And I like everything about that last one. It was a good size. Hello! There we go. Now I can actually see chat a little bit better. Yes. Yeah, that's the one I made last time. And I'm just remaking the same thing. So, hi BML Bites, hi Bernard, welcome to the stream. Welcome to take 2 of my little penguin. So, and I did say this when I first got on, but I can repeat it. There's a tiny little air gap in there. I don't know if you guys can see this. I'm kind of, let's see if I kind of just rotate it a little bit, if you can kind of see that. I trapped a little bit of air, and just enough air that it caused me problems. So, we're going to take it much slower this time, and we're just going to use one rod. And we're just going to melt it down. And if I do it this way, the chance of air getting trapped is pretty much next to none. So we're just going to take it slow. But yeah, which is unfortunate because dang it, he's so cute. I really like him. The color came out really good. I like that. So like this color here, this orange color, I think it's actually called like yellow pastel. But really, look at this. This looks, I don't know if you guys can see this, but in real life it looks orange. His nose came out orange, but his feet came out yellow. It's the same piece, and I just think it's so freaking cute. So like I think that the white belly has like a really nice line to it. Like that came out really, really well. I was really steady when I did it. But here we go again. I'm just gonna take it slowly. I mean, I might. Or, I can just smash them into 1,000 little pieces and then put a bunch of clear glass between it and make a different object out of them. Who knows what I decide to do. Glass is reusable. If I felt really ambitious, I could throw him in the kiln and try to piece him back together, but I really don't see that working out with this particular case. Usually you can fix like a thin crack, but when it's split in half like this, and especially since it's not the same like height and shape everywhere, I don't think it would work. Doo-doo-doo. Frankenstein's chibi. There you go. But yeah, I actually think that those colors by themselves look really good. So if I did actually like manage to break it into a few different pieces, that would actually look pretty good. I apologize as I probably got quieter. My arm, there we go, needs this little rest. I don't know if you guys can see that on the thing. Probably. Melty, melty, melty. See, like, this is where I'm, like, judging this, going, like, hey, if I flatten that, will that give me about the size I look for? I don't know. I don't think so yet. Alright. I gotta start melting underneath and less on the blob itself. If I melt the blob itself, well, one, I do need to melt the very tippy top. It's starting to turn blue again on me. But that's when you'll start to lose control of it. Melt the rod underneath it, and gravity kind of just moves it towards the flame. You have a lot more stability. This is just me making sure that the top of it doesn't get too cold, because it's COE 104 and we just gotta be careful with it. Let's see. Just kind of looking at it. It's really hard for me to judge how wide the piece will be once I actually push it down. I don't do enough Marias, is what I'm hearing. That's technically what this technique, I think, is called. Don't ask me why it's called a Maria. I don't know that answer. Any chance, Bernard, do you know that answer? Why is it called a Maria? If I don't like it, how hard would it be to add more? These are the kinds of questions. And at some point, like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, is it even getting bigger? And, like, I know it is. But it doesn't feel like it's making a significant change. I'm getting a bit of a mushroom shape, so I'm just going to hold it horizontal until it evens out. No air getting trapped. That's the plan. So if I've got more of it heating downwards than I want, we're just going to take a minute and let it figure itself out. That looks like it's starting to do a little better. Alright. Let's see. Shall I press this and find out what this looks like first? Let's see what I can actually do. Move this over. Alright, let's see. Not sure why, but you're looking, okay. But I'm wondering how you got air in what looks like a solid color, not a swirler mixing things. Oh, because I used 2 pieces of glass. So I had joined it, and somehow in my joining, like, and if you go back and, well, actually, I'm not even sure you'd see it in the video because that part of it actually happened when I was having a technical difficulty because I was trying to also fix the computer. My video wasn't streaming, and so like I was quickly trying to do things, and I think that's when I ended up trapping it. So right now it's a little off center, so I'm kind of just letting gravity center my blob again. And then gonna heat the whole thing up until it's a little soupsies. All right, I think that's a pretty good size. That looks pretty familiar. Let's see. Should we do a comparison? Let's not put the rod in the flame. He might be a little bit smaller, but he's pretty close. All right, pretty happy with that. If I really wanted to, I could push him a little bit flatter. Get a little bit more height. So I'm not sure that I'm actually making it any thinner at this point, but I also need to get rid of some of these cold working tool marks. So if I show you guys here, I don't know if you guys can see. There we go. That kind of shows it a little bit. The graphite marver that I'm pressing this on, I believe this is how it works, so don't quote me on the science part of this. I know they're called cold mark tools, so obviously these tools are cold. And yet, I can press the hot glass, and I can't remember exactly what the melting temperature of COE 104 is, but it's pretty hot. I want to say... See, now I'm like looking at my kiln going, can you tell me what temperature it is? I think it's like 1,000, but now I'm like, is it 1,000 Celsius or 1,000 Fahrenheit? I don't really know. Hot. That's what I'm going to go with. It's just pre-programmed. And yet this is even colder than room temperature, and it's doing fine. So what I think ends up happening is that the glass kind of contracts and gets kind of cold, but it's contracting in like all the places at once, so it makes these like wave patterns. It's the parts where the glass actually touched, which actually has that wave. And all you gotta do is just heat it up until it's melty, and the waves kind of melt back into themselves, and you're good to go. So that is our base. And I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of heat up the back so that I know that this whole thing's got a little bit of heat going through it. And I'm not too worried about it. Whoop! Well, welcome to regular color. My filter fell off. That I'll have to deal with a different day. So let's see, can't vouch for the truth of it, but from the forum post, I think it comes from the word mare, which is Latin for sea. Maria is the plural and is often used to describe large areas of Baltic plains of the moon. You are making a large, hopefully flat, plain-like surface. Oh, Baltic. Basaltic. So salt? Interesting. It feels very sciencey for I just made a thing flat. But you know, what else? Alright, so bottom portion of this. Needs to have some white belly. No, I don't think that the flames will hurt the camera lens at all. It's just that you don't get to see into the flame. So it's the same, I wear these glasses so that I can see what I am doing and so the infrared doesn't hurt me. What are they called? Yeah, it is. But it's just that I'm really obsessed with, and like maybe it's not so bad, but I remember watching several of these kinds of videos, and by these kinds I just mean glass working videos when I was learning how to do glass, and I'd always get really frustrated at like not being able to see what the person was actually doing. And I'm like, but I just, you talk about it, but then you put it in the flame, and all I see is this yellow flame. And so Didinium glasses. Thank you, Brandon. Yes, Didinium glasses. So that's, I want my streams and, you know, my YouTube VODs or whatever to have the ability for someone to actually see inside. Like, I don't know that anyone's gonna pick up glasswork. It's not the cheapest of hobbies. It's not super accessible, but if they are, I want them to be able to see what I'm doing. Let's see. Alright, we gotta push your belly up. Make a little... Okay. Ah! Alright. See, the first one was better. It's okay. Spend a little bit of time with it. Hothead just to try, and then invest from there. That's true. And here there is a studio that you can rent space at, and I'm sure that if you told them that you were interested in learning, that you could take classes. I remember back in Phoenix that I think it was the Mesa Arts Center has some lamp working classes, and like that would be what this is called. Is you would look at it as lamp working. Also, like Caitlin and Evelyn. I tried. That was a word. They did it with that hothead method on their YouTube channel, and I think that they're gonna go with relatively popular on the internet. At least they're popular to me. I don't actually know what their subscriber count is, but I'm gonna go with high. And who knows what that could have sparked. Very nice. Yeah, I'm glad that the Asa. I'm awake today. I'm working on flames. I'm gonna be fine. I promise. Y'all believe in me, right? Right? I had some amount of sleep. Right. Good. Alright, we're getting pretty close. I'm not in love with this one. Like, I think that one's cuter, and I'm gonna see if I can fix this. So, one thing I don't like is this little side over here. I don't know how clear that is, but there's this little, like, white, and then blue line, and then white. I want that to be smoother. And then there's, like, it's kind of lumpy looking. I don't know. That I can probably just fight with a little bit. So step one is make sure not to let this thing get too cold. Cool. So, let's see. I don't know that I fixed that. So I'm not so worried about the lumpiness on the inside where the white is because I kind of just pushed that flat. I'm really trying to get a nice smooth line on the outside. That's what I want more than anything right now. It's just a nice smooth line there. Because the inside, all being white, I can kind of melt it into itself and redistribute it, and it should be fine. The part where it touches the blue, it's going to be a lot harder to get a nice crisp line between the two of them. So, like right now, definitely got a big bulge, but we're going to get that sorted out here. All I've got to do here is just kind of push it over. I'm gonna kind of push that too. Alright, what are we getting? Alright, better. This looks a little droopy, but you know, again, we're getting somewhere. We're just taking it one step at a time. I sorta fix this as we go along. We're like, that's not too bad. Yeah, alright, I'm not too upset with that. Let's redistribute the heat. Let's make sure that there's heat through the whole thing. Alright. Cute enough. Calling it. Alright, so that's step one. What's step two? Let's look at my little past penguin. What do we gotta do here? Do we want to work on the nose, or do we work with the eyes, or the hands? Let's do the hands. They need a lot of melting, so if they get melted in with the next couple of steps, it's really not going to be a problem. And I think in this one that I liked the hand more off to the side, so I'm going to try to do two hands a little bit more off to the side this time. Yeah. No more stick out bit. Calling it. Making a nice little hand. Good enough. Alright, this one's a little bit bigger than the last one, but oh well. Alright. Melt. Little hand. Penguins do have feathers. Yeah, that's true. It's all good though. We're just going for cute. Whatever's cute. Boop. Good enough. Alright. Let's see what this ends up looking like. Melt. Alright. So, this first hand needs a better join between the body and the hand itself. So we're just going to kind of concentrate the heat at the body behind it. That looks pretty good. I get that his hand doesn't look as good, but it ain't falling off, and you know what? That's important. We're going for Sans Accidents Penguins this time. Now it's just got a face. Alright, good enough. I feel like I can make this into a frog if I put big enough eyes on the side like that, but whatever. Alright. I do not remember what order I did these things in last time. I feel like the eyes are going to be the hardest part. Let's see. Okay. How do they grab something like this thick? I feel like there's a black that has a thinner black, but you know, we'll get there in a second. Let's turn this guy up a little bit. Let's see. Nice and warm yet. Looks like you're doing pretty good. Alright, pretty happy. Alright. Whoop, whoop, maybe not. Ugh. Okay, good enough. Just heat it all up again. And slow. Make sure the heat gets all the way through. Starting to look pretty good. Yes. Boop. Because, you know, sound effects are needed. There you are. Alright. Not too bad. The mouth isn't super great, but you know, that's okay. It's okay. Step one is melt these eyes in until I know they're gonna be okie dokies. It's also a good time to heat up the inside again. Let's see. Where is this thing? There we go. I don't know if that made a difference, but you know what I think is cute? I don't know if it'll stay either because, well, maybe. There's a chance. We'll see. Heating the whole thing up again. So let's see. I just imagined your streams with sound effects could be pretty funny. Oh, don't tempt me. I can make my own sound effects. I don't need a sound effects board. Also, that looks really cool now from the brief face-on view. There you go. Hello, Charlie. I am making the penguin again. If you can see on the desk here, my last one cracked. So, this is round 2. Round 2. This is the new guy. He's pretty cute still. Hey, he's pretty cute. It's just sometimes what happens. So, let's see. Turn this guy down a little bit. Right? Little penguin. It's just a little pengy. Alright. How did I do the feet last time? Just 2 lines. Alright. Straight. Boop. Diagonal. His feces are so big this time. Oh no. Well, I can probably fight with those. We'll start with this one. Straight. Line. Woo. Alright. Melt those in just a tiny bit. Just a tiny bit. Heat the whole thing up again. This is my song. Make sure the glass stays hot. Well, welcome to the stream, Charlie. How's your night going? And thank you, Bernard. The big feet is cute. You think it's cute? All right. I'll shape them a little bit better so that they're yeah, I don't think they're not cute, actually, if I look at it. Yeah, that's pretty cute. Yeah, that's probably better for you. I maybe need to move my... See, I was thinking I need to move my, the camera webcam of me, because I view stuff like this. And I guess that's still in your guys' way, but I'm just making sure that my camera's not taking up what you guys can see and can't see. Right now, we're just putting heat through the whole thing. Yeah, so I'm gonna turn this guy down a little bit. We're just gonna make sure that these feetsies get melted in. That's one thing that you need to be concerned about making glass is any little details that you put on it. If they are not actually adhered to the glass beneath them, when it cools down, glass likes to come apart, as indicated down there. So I just want to make sure the glass does what we want it to. That's a tiny beatsies. Let's Let's see here. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. That's pretty cute. Alright, we're gonna heat it up again. We're getting close. How do I take this guy and fix that? Well, I'm glad that you think that the camera works really well. And yeah, little details will pop off. It's just part of the learning curve. And like, don't get me wrong, you'll always like, it'll happen to everybody occasionally. Yeah, you think you outdid it? Oh, I think he's pretty cute no matter what. Alright. Alright, let's see here. I think I'm almost done fiddling. Yeah, the feetsies are good. Alright. So, pretty much we're on to heat this thing up. Make sure that the heat is well distributed throughout the entire thing. Let it cool down just a tiny, tiny bit. And then figure out... I don't remember how I did this last bit, to be honest. Because I need the back to be flat, and right now it's slightly recessed because I've been letting gravity kind of push it back against the rod. Oops, excuse me as I like bump the mic. I don't know if y'all heard that. I'm trying to remember what I did last time. Did I just put it in the clip and then like melt it quickly? I don't know. Can I just concentrate the flame right here on the back? This guy has a personality, sure. I will accept that answer. Just gonna keep the front a little bit warm. Doesn't need to be super warm, but just a little bit. Really, with a piece this thin, I think that if the back was heated up to the point where it's melting like it is, that the front is probably getting enough radiated heat. But we can brush the flame over it lightly and see if that helps at all. I need these two to be flat, please. Flat with no air, flat with no air, lots and lots of heat. Whoop, whoop. That's what I get for looking over at the stream. Be like, is chat going on? Almost lost my bird. That would be no good. To be honest, this part's a little boring. I think I'm making progress. I'm not actually sure that I'm making progress in making the back actually one piece instead of kind of two. I think so. It is certainly taking some time. Alright, melt the front. Just melt the front a little bit. Just melt the front. There we go. Concentrate the flame. Alright. I think we've hit my patience limit. So, and I may have done this last time, I don't really remember. Okay, no worries. Thank you for joining. Can you pass the message that I'm just happy that she joined at all? I appreciate it, and I completely understand. There we go. Alright. Should have just done this from the beginning. I don't know why I was trying to melt it in, like, on the same stick and not do a punty at all. This is a lot easier. Alright, come on, let go. Let go, please. Cool. Where? This tool. Here we go. This tool and this tool. Now at this point I've got way too much glass on the back, but we'll deal with that in a second. First and foremost is making sure that the heat is through the object. Heat is through the object. Don't lose it at this stage. Just doing it till it's all a nice kind of glowy color. There we go. Alright, now I'm happy with that. I can really concentrate on the back here. This is how I feel about this right now. This feels easier. There we go. Cute little pangy face. And we'll just push you back down. Alright. It's starting to look better. Or at least more manageable amount of glass. I like that it's tilted on an axis at this point. Alright, I'm just push this a little bit flatter. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Alright. I'm not too worried about cold marks on the back. That is the back. Push and push. That's working. There we go. Do you like it when just his eyes glow? Mah. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing with him. Getting obsessive about details. No one else but me would notice. Alright. So like part of me wants to pull his nose out again. Nose didn't get very long, buddy. I'm not sure. This is the right decision. But it's done now. Melt it into so it's not too sharp. There we go. Alright. Now, all that needs to happen is for me to remove this punty and put it in the crock pot. And that in the I say the crock. I mean, it's both. It's a crock pot with annealing beads in it. Even heat distribution. Alright. Be happy with that. Alright. Not gonna crack off for me, that's fine. Make it work. Oop. Almost had it. There we go. Let me just melt that in. Good enough. There he is. Alright, I'll probably call it here for now. We're gonna hope that that Pengi comes out better this time. Wish me luck. Bye.